Welcome to the First and 30 podcast. Happy Halloween, too. This is episode 40. Antonino, what are we about?
We're about the 4 spookiest downs on earth in 30 haunted minutes of NFL football insight to get all the ghouls and gals through your special Halloween edition hump day.
Heck yes. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, switch over real quick and then finish listening on Spotify. Antonino, you got a costume on. I got a costume on. We're like in the spirit of Halloween. Why don't you tell us, what are you, Count Dracula here? What is going on?
Oh, no. I am Antonino, the sports book vampire.
All right, for those that did not go onto YouTube, Antonino had his fangs in, so it's a little tough for him to talk with those. I like it, man. That's a good costume. Where did you get the cape and all that?
I thought it was fitting for all the blood I'm sucking out of those sports books, but hold the phone. Mr. 305 himself is on this call with me. It is unbelievable how uncanny you look representing the 305.
No, you want me. I know you want.
Yeah. We need to get you down to Florida, 305.
Yep, I'm Mr. Worldwide. I'm Pitbull. I took it up a notch though, man. I shaved my head. I'm looking like Pitbull. I did the whole Pitbull goatee and mustache. What do you think?
This is everything. This is everything. People, get on to YouTube. This is where YouTube is a free website, and this is worth it right here. Get on and check it out.
I'm not gonna lie, Antonino. I might leave this look. I'm really feeling liberated without the hair. It's feeling pretty smooth and silky.
I like it. No maintenance. You just wake up and go.
Yeah. I don't have to put my hands in my hair and do all that nonsense. But all right, man. Well, we got the cool costumes. We're in the Halloween spirit. We have 4 spooky downs for ghouls and gals that we're gonna dig into. Some future stuff, some past stuff. So why don't we kick things off? Let's hop right into it. First down. It's time for a Hail Mary. And if you've been a long-time listener, this might hit some nostalgia because we used to do this on 4th down a lot, but we're kind of flipping the script. Why on earth would we be starting with a Hail Mary, Antonino? I wonder why.
If you're a Chicago Bears fan, this is the time to mute your phone, because you might still have goosebumps from what happened in D.C.
Yeah, very frightening the way that this game ended for Bears fans. But if you're a Washington fan, this might have made your life, honestly, this play. So how about I break it down? If you've been living under a rock, I'll give you the breakdown of what happened. Jaden Daniels gets the ball with 2 seconds left. Washington's trailing, by 3-4 points? I think it was like 15-12 at this point. He scrambles around. He avoids pressure for 12.7 seconds. Yes, I'm giving you to the T what happened here. 12.7 seconds before he chucks it 54.5 yards in the air to the end zone. It's a Hail Mary play. These really are very rarely successful. But what ends up happening, man?
Oh, boy. Someone on the Bears was caught with their pants down by the name of Tyreek Stevenson. There's a viral video. He's talking, to the fans, taunting the fans. The play starts. He's not even looking. The receivers are halfway down the field, turns around. Last second, he runs up to the group of people to slap the ball away. He taps it up like a volleyball touch and goes right to Noah Brown for the touchdown.
Come on, man. What? Knock it down, right? Knock it down. What are you doing? That was just a loss of concentration moment for the Bears and for Stevenson in particular, but for Washington. I mean, there's 2 ends to these types of situations, right? You end up winning and going out in glory, or you lose in humiliating fashion. So many scenarios can happen. But for Washington, this probably could be like that highlight moment for them moving forward. Like we will remember this play etched into our memory if Washington goes on a run here into the playoffs. This could be Jaden Daniels' legacy play. Let's hope, though, he has a long career. I've been saying it all season. Yep. I hope I don't jinx him. I'm knocking on wood right now. He has like all these RG3 characteristics, similar, like came out hot rookie season. He's probably going to be rookie of the year like RG3 was. I think he's going to lead them to the playoffs and winning the division. Let's just hope for health that he can continue doing what he's doing and staying healthy.
He was hobbling around a little bit, but I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and slap a title on this thing. This is the Maryland Miracle. For a lot of you that don't know,
Oh,
the stadium is in Landover, Maryland.
yep.
I'm calling this the Maryland Miracle. And I'm sorry, Tyreek Stevenson, you might have some skeletons in your closet after this one. Thank you.
Pre
Thank you.
prepare, prepare, folks. Chain movement that's listening.
Yes.
We are going to pun it out with the Halloween jokes and euphemisms and phrases here, but it was cool, man. This was actually the first time in the next gen stats era that a touchdown was thrown with over 10 seconds, like a play that took over 10 seconds to develop that resulted in a touchdown pass. So Jaden Daniels doing something that has never been done before, at least that's been calculated and recorded in modern NFL era. This was also the second longest game winning TD pass by a rookie as time expired in the fourth quarter in NFL history.
It's crazy all around. No matter how you look at it, this was crazy. I'm so happy for the fans that were going nuts. But hey, I did hear that the Bears put an official request in with the league to have this play reviewed to
Why?
have it redone. The play redone.
Why?
Chicago would fly to DC to replay one play
What?
because they said that there was multiple holding calls that were not called, and they think that costed them the game in decisive fashion with the last play of the game and them getting a touchdown or letting up a touchdown. So they want to replay
Wow,
the down.
no. You're
Yes.
kidding, right? I didn't
Yeah.
see this.
Yep. Yesterday. So we'll see. That'd
What
be
a
nuts.
bunch of sore losers. Go
Yes.
get your whining out of here, Bears fan. I hope Bears fans aren't on board that bandwagon. I mean, this happened. Like, think of how many penalties occur on last second plays like this. I mean, you and I were talking about this a few weeks ago when the Bengals lost to the Chiefs. You were making a point and an
Yep.
argument that on Hail Mary passes, they're always like pass interference happening. Like
Always.
guys are
Always.
jostling for position. It becomes a jump ball for a rebound, but we don't get penalty calls because rarely does it result in a touchdown. So now what? Chicago. Ooh, I've lost
Chicago.
a little bit of
Chicago.
respect if they actually go through with that. That's kind of a low blow right there.
It's a little cringe, almost like the way this game ended for Caleb Williams. I don't know if you saw his reaction on the sideline. He's from the DC area.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but he went to Gonzaga High School. That's the same conference I played football in high school for the WCAC. We played against Gonzaga. He was coming back home, and just when you think everything's going to be a fairy tale ending for Caleb Williams, he had this Gonzaga marching band holding the American flag before the game. He does this comeback, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Nope. They were supernatural forces at play here, folks. And he got his dream shot down.
He had a rough game too. I mean, he was held to 36 yards passing through three quarters. He started heating up there in the last two drives. He went 6 for 8, 95 yards. His expected completion percentage, like plays that you would expect to complete for the first 9 drives was negative 24.6, but he turned it around in the fourth. So you have to see the resiliency. He had a 22.9 CPO, so expected completion in the fourth. So he was getting pressured a ton though, man. Washington's defense is actually looking strong now. So 1 versus 2 matchup. The
That was
number
nice.
2 pick gets the first win and hopefully a long career for both of these guys. Congrats to Washington fans. I was actually happy for them.
Yep.
But okay, man. Hail Mary's up. Second down time, and this is more of a spookier down. So if you're not into horror films, those that are listening, you might want to walk away. If you have nightmares from things like this, like horrific things occurring, we're gonna get in the weeds here, man. This is some horrible stuff. Do we want to start with what the Bengals and yet another disappointing loss as they got beat down by Philly? Do we want to go in the direction of maybe my Cowboys and them falling apart yet again to the Niners, or was there something else that we can just?
There's so many. I'm just going to get this thing out of the way quick. The Cincinnati Bengals, everyone by now knows I'm a huge Bengals fan. And I think it's time to send our coach, Zach Taylor, to the graveyard shift. After what I saw in this game, 4th and 1, third quarter, we're only down 7. We're in our own territory. He goes for it and calls a screenplay. 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Somebody get this guy out of town. All over. And on the defense, no pressure from the line. We have two dudes ranked 253 and 252 out of 255 linemen in pass rush grades. We got no pass rush at all. Quarterback has all day. Jalen Hurts had a field day. And one last thing, we're dead last in rush blocking, the offensive line. This is bad, real bad. And I blame it squarely on the coach.
Ooh. Oh man, that's chilling stuff right there.
Had to let that all out. He's digging his own grave, that Zach Taylor guy.
We got a grave digger here. Okay.
Your
Yeah,
turn.
I'm kind of shocked though. Usually you are the optimist out of the two of us when it comes to our unwavering faith of a team. I am very much a realist with the Cowboys, with my fandom. I wouldn't even consider myself like a fan is a fanatic, and a
Mhm.
fanatic is somebody that has an irrational passion for something. I don't think I'm an irrational fanatic of a team, but sometimes you teeter there where you're like, I don't want to view reality, but it seems like you're starting to dig into the reality of this situation. That's not looking good.
But we're recording on a Tuesday, so give it till Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll be fine. I'll be ready to go.
Oh no! All right, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I will keep it very short with the Cowboys. We don't have to belabor on them too much. It all starts with the top, Jones. I've been calling for his job for years now. No way he should be the GM of this team any longer. I think it's time. When you go through an offseason and you do absolutely nothing, you let some of your key contributors from last year walk in free agency, and then you do zero moves, do nothing to fill up those positions, what do you expect? So going in this year, I told you, man, I was like, I don't have high hopes for the Cowboys. I just don't think they're going to be a competitive team. They've done nothing to improve the roster, and the coaching staff is vanilla. I mean, it's time to go for McCarthy. Time to go, Mike Zimmer. I mean, rush defense is the worst in the league right now. The offense, rush offense, dead last in the league as well. They're 3-4. I'm predicting maybe they win 3 or 4 more games to end this season. So my call out to you, man. You
Oof.
want to help me pick out a new team to start rooting for
You're
until
really giving
changes
me the
occur.
chills. You're giving me the chills over there, man. We're not even
Yeah,
halfway through the down yet, but I'm getting the chills from these two.
yeah.
49ers dropping the Cowboys, Eagles dropping the Bengals. But let's share, like misery likes company, right? So
Of
we got a lot of Jets fans that listen to this show and talk about a nightmare. They went into New England facing Drake May. Drake May gets hurt, and they still lose the game to the lowly Patriots. All they had to do was stop them on 4th and goal at the end of the game, with Jacoby Brissett leading the drive all the way down the field, 4th and goal to get a touchdown, and the Jets season just keeps getting worse.
when are Jets fans going to just accept it? Like we've been asking, you got the Devontae Adams deal. They've lost both games since they got Adams. They go ahead and they bring all these other big names in the offseason like Tyron Smith. When are we just going to accept the fact that this is just a miserable franchise like the Cowboys, run poorly in a big market? Aaron Rodgers looks like a 40-year-old quarterback, like we've been saying. It's time to pack it up, I think, right?
It's
Like
ugly.
2-6. I don't know if they're. I think it's time to just call it wraps.
There's no
Mummify
fashion.
them.
Mummify them. I like that. But let's keep this going. It's witching hour, folks, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better. The Browns upset the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens. But Jameis Winston goes to town, his own town, Cleveland, and beats the Ravens. The Ravens defensive back specifically drops an interception. Hamilton, their safety, Kyle Hamilton, drops an interception to seal the game with less than a minute left. He's not going to forget that for a long time.
He wasn't the only one dropping it. Nelson Aguilar dropped a wide open pass. Tons of drops by the Ravens. The
Tons of drops.
secondary looks a little rough. So yeah, it's a ghoulish time out there in Cleveland for Ravens fans. Hopefully they're recovering and that somber defeat. What about the Titans though, man? That's another horrifying slasher flick that occurred at Detroit. What was it? 52-14, I thought the score ended.
Oh boy, I got the chills. We're going deep into the graveyard, folks. Deep into the graveyard. Ooh, Tennessee Titans had 52 points dropped on their head, on their skull. 52. Rest in peace to the Titans.
Yep. Okay. Do you have anything else? I mean, this has
Oh,
been just too this has been pretty spooky here
we
this
could
time.
go all
I
day.
don't wanna keep hanging on the scariness that's been occurring over the weekend. Maybe it's almost time for the
Yeah,
half-minute halftime,
let's
the
do it.
Halloween half-minute halftime. Alright.
Halloween half minute halftime. I love it. Trick or treat. Smell my feet. And instead of giving us something good to eat, go on Spotify and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. We'd appreciate it.
That's right. Don't ghost us. Let us know if you're enjoying the show. If you haven't already, follow, like, wherever you listen to the show at First and 30. Man, that was freaking creative and clever, if I do say
love
so
this.
myself. All
I'm
right.
loving every second of this.
I am too, man. This is fun. I'm glad that we were able to do this Halloween edition. All right. Third down, third and long. This was cool. We're going to kind of stem away from the Halloween maybe a little bit here. It was National Tight Ends Day on Sunday, October 27th. So happy National Tight Ends Day, which I hope this isn't actually like a national holiday because that would be a little silly. There were a lot of tight ends, though, that came up really huge over the weekend. We actually saw a record for National Tight Ends Day. 16 tight ends scored touchdowns on
Ooh.
Sunday, 177 catches. So that is a record for the now 7th year of National Tight Ends Day. And do you know the history behind this day, Antonino? This fantastic, amazing day
I
for the
I
tight end?
cannot say that I do, but I'm very intrigued. Please fill me
Well
in.
well, it was Mr. George Kittle. He kind of honed in on this slogan in week 2 all the way back in 2018. There was a touchdown scored. They kinda mic'd him up on the sideline. He was talking with, a tight end at the point, and he was like, "Look, we gotta have National Tight Ends Day. We're doing it all here." So, Kittle was on he was actually the highlight player of the week for me, and we're gonna tie in, like, some fantasy, implications to this as well. But Kittle, 6 catches for 128 yards. He had a touchdown. He has been the tight end one this season without CMC, without Brandon Ayuk, limited Debo Samuel. So he's kind of the guy the offense has been running through over the course of the first 8 weeks or so of the season. So kudos to Mr. National Tight End himself right there, George Kittle.
I'm going to stop you right there. I got to bring some Halloween into this. Just imagine me playing the piano. Dun, dun, dun. I have a tight end who, yes, he might have had 7 catches for 73 yards, but he had a very, very horrific play. Fourth quarter, Bengals tight end Mike Gesicki catches a ball. We're down 10 points. He runs 6 yards. He fumbles the ball, and just like that, our comeback hopes were dead in the water. Dun, dun, dun.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, I
He
know, it's
he was
really
having himself a game, but you know what? Let's not stick around with the scary stuff for too much longer. Let's get some candy, some tricks or treats here. Cade Otton, he showed up big time for Tampa Bay without Godwin, without Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield is still flinging the ball. Otton finished with 9 catches on 10 targets, 81 yards, not one, but 2 TDs. So moving forward, Cade Otton, tight end 1, I'd say. So if he's available in any of your leagues, you better go scoop him up off of waivers this week because tight end is rather thin. One more for you, man. Kyle Pitts. I mean,
Yep.
this is a guy that's been an enigma, right? We've all been questioning when is Pitts going to show up. I think he might be here. I'm not sure. I heard a knock on the door. He might just be coming for some candy, but I hope he stays and keeps showing these performances. 4 catches, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, since week 5 now, Antonino, he's averaged 13 and a half fantasy points per game in a half PPR league. So you got to love that production from Pitts moving forward as well.
I'm writing all these down. Lord knows I need the tight end help in fantasy. But yet again, I'm going to have to stop you there. Dun, dun, dun.
Jeez.
One tight end was one day too late to the party. Pittsburgh Steelers' Pat Fryermuth. He played
Nah.
on Monday, not Sunday. So he was late to the party. He had 0 catches and 0 yards in the first half and ended the game with 19 yards. But in Vegas, his over-under was 25. So shame on him. And
Oh.
he did not get the memo.
Nope. I mean, well, you're focusing on all these guys that didn't show up. And he, to be fair, Fryermuth played on Monday night, so he didn't even play on National
Yep.
Tight Ends Day.
Yep.
So Get him out of here. He wasn't even going to be a part of this list. Travis Kelce, man, best game of the season for him. 10 catches on 12 targets, 90 yards and a touchdown. If you drafted him high, you're feeling good about this moving forward. Kansas City's offense is going to have to run and rely on Kelce in some plays. Trey McBride with the Cardinals, he had 9 catches on 11 targets, 124 yards. McBride, man, he has been a volume machine. So not a lot of touchdown production to this point, but he's getting all the looks. And honestly, I'm taking volume over touchdowns. Touchdowns are always a volatile stat to predict. So you want to see a guy that's just getting opportunities consistently. And I want to throw out another name here, Sam Laporta. He finally had a pretty solid fantasy day. I mean, this guy was going as the consensus tight end 1 in most drafts. I'd say if you have Laporta, he had 6 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. I would try to trade him now. I mean, his value was so low, but he got the touchdown, 12 plus fantasy points this week. Try to trade him, get something for him because Detroit's offense is just loaded with so many weapons. It's not that Laporte is a bad player. It's just there's not enough balls to go around to all these guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Detroit, they're firing on all cylinders, but that's a name to keep an eye on. Please call me if you want to trade me Laporta. I will take him.
All right. Well, cool. We're not going to get to every name because there were so many guys played so well. I think
they played scary good is what you meant to say.
They played scary good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dracula over there. Okay, man. I think it's time we head into fourth and forever. Should we go for it?
Let's go for it.
There we go. Let's go for it, and let's bring in some tricks and treats on these bets. I know we've been kind of implementing some of this fantasy and betting elements, and I'm kind of curious how you did this past week. If we want to gain any credibility here, like what have you done? What was the outcome, and then wrap up the down. Let's get back to our midseason Super Bowl picks. Let's see if the guys that we picked at the beginning of the year are still kind of there right now.
I hope everyone enjoyed their coffee on the house on this hump day, or better yet, their full-size candy bars, thanks to First and 30, compliments to First and 30 for these picks that I gave out last week on fourth down. We went 3-1, folks. 3-1.
There you go.
Joe Mixon got us a touchdown. We started off early. We hit that. Then the Lions running backs went crazy. They both got 2 touchdowns. Gibbs got 127 yards on 11 carries. Holy cannoli. Man, oh man. And then the third pick, Steelers covering 6 against the Giants.
Barely.
That cash last night. It never comes easy, folks. You got to know this by now. It never comes easy. If you're a bettor, you understand the pain. Never comes easy. So those are the 3 we got right. But there's one that we got wrong, specifically me. I can take the heat. I got the brownie points. I can take the heat.
Which one? It was the Saints one, right? Like I thought that was a little ambitious. With 39.5 that the Saints and Chargers were going to cover that spread.
Yeah,
you didn't.
It was like a baseball game at first. It was 3-2. Chargers came out, scored a couple touchdowns, 2-3 touchdowns. The Saints missed a field goal from 40 yards out. And then they had 4 or 5 tries within the 10-yard line to end the game with their third-string quarterback. They would have hit the 39.5 had they done either of those. Just a bad beat. So I'll take those losses when I know it's just bad luck. We went 3-1. I hope you guys enjoy some candy bars. If you guys bet on that, take those winnings, get some sugar in you.
Nice. Okay. So you did pretty well your first week. I wonder, should we test this again? I mean, that's a very small sample size there, but it's a very good initial indication for us moving forward. What about this weekend? Can you give us maybe like a 3-pack of treats?
I shot a solid 3-pack here because let me tell you, these matchups coming up this week are very creepy, and we got to play the part of Ghostbusters. So we got to be careful. We got to tread lightly. And like I always do, I use research to make my picks. Let's dive right in here. I got a 3-pack for you. We got to stay very safe this time of year. It's a scary time of year, but we got to play it safe.
Okay. What do you have?
Tua Tagovailoa is back. Keep an eye on the Dolphins receivers, specifically Tyreek Hill. I think he's going to be an anytime touchdown scorer. He hasn't got a touchdown since week 1. They're going to force him this ball. They need to get involved. They're going to reward their star receiver. He's going to get a touchdown.
Okay, lock it. We'll have to check back. I like that one. That seems likely. Yeah. I mean, he's overdue. A lot of people expected it last week.
This one you're not going to agree with. The New York Jets, they're playing in the Meadowlands. They're favored by 2 points in a must-win game on Thursday Night Football. Not much rest, quick turnaround. Houston has a terrible O-line. Everyone's going to see that. It's going to be on national display. Stroud might not survive this game.
Whoa.
Heed the warning. Take the Jets money line at minus 125. Don't take the 2. They might win by 1 point here. Take the money line at 125.
Okay, real quick, I appreciate you pointing this out because I am fantasy football, have the Jets defense. They have done nothing over the past 3 weeks. So I am literally on the point of dropping them right now in favor for like the Saints or somebody like that. But we got the news Diggs is going to be out. So you're saying Jets defense is going to feast then on the Texans.
Hold firm. They're going to pressure the quarterback. Gardner's going to get some
Okay.
layups. It's going to be a big day for that defense.
All right. I'm going to hold.
And here we go. I'm going to give everyone the lock of the week, okay? And this one's extra, extra locky, okay? I'm doing a parlay here. You would think this is risky, but I'm taking the Commanders who are playing the Giants. I don't get it. They're only favored by like 3.5. I'm going to take the Commanders money line with the Bengals money line. Bengals are favored by 7.5. So we're taking these teams in a parlay just to win the game. Commanders over the Giants, Bengals over the Raiders. You take those in a parlay, minus 107 odds. If you bet $107, you get $100 in your pocket, net positive. So take that. That's my lock of the week. Commanders, Bengals, money line.
Heck yeah. Okay. So we have 3 that we can look back on. Commanders, Bengals, the Jets defense, is it going to hold firm? And then Tua with Tyreek. So we kind of went through the 3 pack of treats. We have a minute or so left, man. Let's just really quickly, Super Bowl picks. Do you have yours already prepared? I have mine.
I'm going to let you hit it. Go for it.
Okay. So I started off the year with the Lions and the Ravens. And I am sticking firm with that pick. Despite Baltimore losing this past weekend to Cleveland, I thought that was a trap game. Jameis Winston coming back. The Browns were going to be a tricky play on the road. Ravens, I think, can rebound, recover. They are the top in the league with rushing the ball. Derrick Henry leads the league with all rushers, 946 yards. Lamar has 501 yards rushing, which, I mean, that's almost better than the whole Cowboys team. Dallas has 519 as a team. So Lamar himself is almost out rushing Dallas. The only thing that concerns me with Baltimore right now is their defense. It's the bottom half of the league with yards per game. They give up some big plays. Even when their offense gets them out to huge leads, Baltimore has this tendency of allowing teams to get back into it. So that is why I am still picking Detroit to win it all. Detroit special teams has been strong. We saw it this past week against Tennessee. They had a few punt return touchdowns in that, but their turnover differentials plus 10, second only behind Buffalo. Lead the league in points per game with 33. The team in second is Baltimore with 30. So I think good offenses, solid defenses can get there. So you hear it. That's the lock. Baltimore, Detroit. Detroit's getting their first Super Bowl.
Oh, man, I don't know if I ate too much candy, but that Baltimore pick for the Super Bowl is sickening right now. I can't even dare to think of those Ravens in the Super Bowl. However, I'm going to quickly give you guys my pick. In the preseason, I gave you guys my Super Bowl pick. It was the Atlanta Falcons versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I had the Eagles many times before that. I've stayed strong with the Bengals. Today, as it stands, thinking everything through, I'm sticking with the Falcons coming out of the NFC. It'll be them and the Lions coming out, and I think the Falcons will take them down. Too many weapons. In the AFC, it'll probably be Buffalo and the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like Josh Allen's going to make some mistakes, and the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl this year. You said a fanatic. Fanatic is a fanatic. And that's because I
Man,
have
I thought you were
unwavering
becoming
faith.
a rational player here. You're
That's
not
it.
rational. Oh
So I'm
gosh.
sticking to my pick, same as you from week 1 till
Man.
now. Falcons, Bengals. We're gonna
No
win
hope.
7. We're gonna win 7 of our last 9. We'll see you guys in the playoffs. It'll be great.
No hope for you. There's no hope. No saving Antonino. He just wants to suffer. All right, man. That does it for our downs. It is time to hop into some news in the 2-minute drill. Kick us off here.
The Houston Texans got some frightening news. Wide receiver Stephon Diggs tore his ACL and is done for the season.
It was a horror show in Indy this past weekend as Anthony Richardson's historically bad 44% completion rate decided to sit himself out of play to rest. Well, he was benched today in favor of veteran Joe Flacco.
He was wearing his Halloween clown outfit. The Jets scored 20-plus points, didn't turn it over, allowed fewer than 250 yards, and lost. Teams are 750-1 when this happens. They are the one loss.
Whoa! I didn't know that. That's awesome. After rumbling for 140-plus yards on Monday night, Tyrone Tracy Jr. has entered the league's concussion protocol after sustaining a head brain injury against Pittsburgh.
The NFL has announced the December 9th Bengals-Cowboys game will be a special edition Simpsons broadcast on Disney and ESPN+. The Bengals will be Team Bart and the Cowboys will be Team Homer.
Trayvon Diggs with the Cowboys had an issue with a media member calling him out on social media for a poor effort play where he basically allowed George Kittle to almost score a touchdown. Afterward, he approached the media member and kind of made a scene about all of this.
Some ghastly data has come in. The Chargers-Cardinals game from a couple weeks ago on ESPN Plus was rated the least watched NFL game in 16 years, hopefully a sign to stop having those exclusive channel games.
I hope so. The Arctic Foxes has won yet again another game to improve to a commanding 6-2 record on top of the Naptown Dirty Dozen Fantasy Football League. And yes, that is my team.
As if that's not bad news enough, I got bad news for the rest of the AFC. The Ravens just traded for wide receiver Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers for a measly 5th, 6th round pick swap.
And just like the Bengals, Antonino's fantasy football team, Cincy Jungle, has passed through this world and entered purgatory. After losing yet another game in our league, his players seem invisible like ghosts at this point.
Oh gosh, and oh god, and I'm gonna leave everyone with some chills on that note. Joseph Lee Burrow is ranked number 2 in PFF ratings and number 1 in ESPN QBR. There's still hope, Bengals fans. There's still hope.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I got you on that one. You didn't know that was coming, did you?
I get it. I'm hurt.
Oh, man. All right. I think that does it, right?
It absolutely does. You know the drill. We'll see you on the next one. The next one is the best one.
Don't choke on those teeth. Thank you for joining us for another episode of First and 30. Until next Wednesday. First of all, happy Halloween. But when your number is called, no matter the odds,
let's go for it.